Kenneth, I
I
thought maybe since nobody else is speaking, um, did you want this to happen or did it just happen?
didn't happen. Nothing happens. So in the story of being to me, we live in a happening. So uh, you know, I
Yeah. That intellectually I understand that,
mm,
and I also intellectually understand that what you're talking about has to be experienced. That it can't be understood. I suppose my question was, I'll have to put it differently.
mm,
Something changed in your life.
not in my
Let's
life, no, but
well,
yeah.
hmm, I
It
think
wasn't
one
looked
of
for by me. It wasn't looked for by Kenneth because Kenneth is just a closed loop of Kenneth. But it was what was always yearned for, because I was not I was everything. It's wholeness and all the time. There's a sensation of being a me. There's a sense that wholeness has been lost. So there's a yearning for everything again. There's a yearning to be whole again. But paradoxically, that's not by gaining something, that's by this sense of being a separate me not being there anymore.
the thing
So it's
is,
nothing to do
Kenneth,
with the me.
yeah, I sort of have quite, insofar as one can have a good intellectual understanding,
Hmm.
which I know is quite different from experience. Um, so what is the advantage, say, for example, for any one of us now here at that meeting, hearing what's being said? What's the advantage for us?
No
Is
advantage at
it,
all.
so it's just kind of,
This is
it's like playing, I play.
absolutely, it's more than that, actually. It's not a good place for the person to be, because first of all, there's no person acknowledged here. There's no person seen here. And possibly there could be the death of the person. There could be the end of the person. So what advantage would that be to the person? The person is an artificial dream. So there's no interest here in the artificial dream. The person lives in a dream of, I'm a person and I want to get something from everything.
Intellectually, I get that. Intellectually,
It
I
doesn't
get that
matter
totally.
intellectually getting it or not is completely irrelevant. Just to add that, it doesn't matter intellectually getting it. It can't actually be gotten at all. So it's what's been
Well,
suggested here
no,
is not to do with understanding or
what I
knowing.
mean is intellectually, I get what you're saying,
Mm-hmm.
on the level in which you're saying it.
Okay.
Um, right. So, yeah, on the level in which you're saying it. Um, so I suppose I would be asking myself right now, sitting here, has this any value for
But
me?
you're not sitting here. You're not
Uh,
sitting here or there. That's what's being said.
well,
That's what's being suggested. You're not actually sitting there. There's nobody
actually,
sitting there.
Kenneth, I am sitting there because that's my perception at this moment in time. I don't have any other kind of perception. I
Yeah,
don't have
I'm
the
just saying from this
level.
perception, obviously, that you're not sitting
Yeah,
there. Yeah.
yeah.
Okay.
No, I hear what you're saying. So we're not speaking the same language then.
Doesn't appear to be like it. No, there's words coming out, and there's two different perceptions. One perception is from the perception of an apparent separate self who says they get this or so on and so forth, and the other perception is from no thing, from nothing. It's
I
not.
suppose I'm
It's
saying
not
I'm getting
from
it.
a person. It's
Yeah,
not a. It's not a an understanding
I
that's
get
held
that.
here in the
Believe it or
body.
not, I get that. But the
Okay.
thing is, all I'm saying is I'm getting it as much as one can get it where I'm at. Now, what I feel is this, Kenneth.
Mm-hmm.
Um, like I have a deep interest in communicating, and I think if I speak French to somebody who doesn't speak French, I'm wasting my time. So, I mean, if we're to have meaningful communication,
We're not.
then we have to
There's
be
no
able to meet
intention
on the
here.
same level.
There's
Are you
no
getting me?
intention here. There's no.
Pardon?
Can I just interject there? There's no intention here to have meaningful communication, because if there was an intention to have meaningful communication, that would mean that this communication has meaning, and that life has meaning and purpose. That is a dream. That's the dream of the individual. That's a completely different communication that you're speaking about there.
I get that intellectually. I get it
Okay.
intellectually.
Okay.
Yeah, I get that intellectually. I mean, say for example, I'm the same person when I'm asleep, but I don't have the same perception that I'm having now. Okay? So from that standpoint, I get it, that wherever you're coming from, I'm somewhere else. I mean, if I'm asleep in the room, I can't speak to somebody who's awake in the room. And that is what I'm understanding. Am I correct in that?
I think
That to you, as far as you're concerned, I'm asleep.
No, I didn't say that. No.
That's my
From this
perception.
perception, I can't see people who are asleep, because that would mean that there would be someone here who sees a separate person out there. There is no perception here that there's a separate anything anywhere. All there is energy. All there is aliveness, which is nothing and everything, which is what is now. This is nothing and everything. And in that nothing and everything, characters say, well, hello, I'm here. Can you, dun, dun, dun. And that's not entertained in this perception. That's not fed in any way, shape, or form, because there is no separate person. But there is a suggestion that there is only this. And that is heard as it's heard. There is only aliveness. There is no individual. It's an appearance. And that resonates as it resonates. It's not to do with an intellectual knowing or understanding. And it's heard as it's heard. So there's no agenda here for anybody who's tuned into this to hear anything, because there is nobody tuned into this from this perception. That's the difference between this communication and most other ones. They're speaking to someone who they perceive as separate, and they want them not to be separate.